Hello, future pivoteers. My name is Lauren. If you do not already know me, I am a Ohio Realtor and I am also a career development lead for Pivot. So I did a poll the other day and I noticed that a lot of people voted that they really want more study tips in the pre-pivot power group. So what I decided to do is compile a list of 10 things that, from my real estate experience, going through the classes myself, but also just things I've picked up on as a career development lead that I think would really benefit you as you're going through this licensing process. So tip number one is actually a little bit silly. It's actually don't be like Lauren. So what I did when I was going through classes at Hondros, they only had the online option, right? Which is what Kentucky people have. So I actually took all those PowerPoints because I thought I was saving time because I was handwriting my notes, which this was maybe a little bit faster than that, but I took every single one of the slides and put them into this binder. So everything. So if you guys ever want to see this, I did all the hard work for you. You can come into the office and see it yourself, but do not make anything like this. Focus on key things. Do not spend the time taking this many notes because you don't need them in the end. A lot of this stuff, it repeats itself and you don't need to do that. Tip number two, get through classes as quickly as possible. It's true, you've probably heard your coaches say it. I know I say it, I know Saul says it. If you just kind of drag it out too long, you'll probably forget a lot of the information. You're gonna have to restudy it again anyways. Just get through them as quickly as possible. We want you in here. Tip number three, focus on the vocabulary and the key concepts. Those things that just keep coming back. I would bold those, I would underline them, star them, whatever you have to do to make it kind of sink in your mind. Maybe rewrite them a couple times, because one thing that is common on the test is, comparing this common vocab word to this other common vocab word. Tip number four is to actually come into the office to study, create study groups and kind of build those bonds. I have some people here that actually went through my orientation with me. So like Coach Val, Coach Katie, those people were actually in my orientation group, which is so unique and fun. We're all kind of growing together, which is something a little bit unique and different. After this video today, I will be posting a poll that says, are you getting a license in Ohio or Kentucky? That way you can connect with people in your same state. You actually can come in and study together. Tip number five is to not use your notes during your online practice exams. I know that there is no one watching you and it can be really tempting, but at the end, you're really just shortchanging yourself because you may not really know the information. Tip number six is to take advantage of the Crammer courses or the professor-led practice tests that your package may provide to you, because those, for me personally, I kind of credit those to me passing my test the first time because they helped me that much. And don't be afraid to take those tests over and over and over again until you pass them solidly each and every time. Tip number seven, do not try to wait until the last minute to study for this. Just like we said, try to get through it as quickly as possible. Do not wait until last minute to review all of these things, because this is something that is not going to sink into your brain overnight. It just isn't. Tip number eight, probably the most common tip that I give the people on my team, is to use YouTube and to use Quizlet. They are free online resources. The main thing that I tell people is to make sure it is from a recent year, like in the last 1 to 2 years, so that you know that you're getting current information. But they are totally free for you to use. Use them as practice tests, use them as flashcards. They're already made for you and it'll save you time in the end studying. Tip number 9, this is not a free resource, but it's still one that I encourage everybody to go out and purchase, is the PSI practice test. So PSI is the creator of the actual real estate exam. So that way you can figure out their verbiage, how they do the test. I personally purchased the 500 question package. I don't think that that is necessary for everybody, but some of the questions that were on that practice test were on my actual test, and those are free points for you to pass on the first try. And lastly, tip number 10, this is actually my favorite one. It's something that I'm very thankful that I did myself, and that's do something to de-stress yourself on the day of the test. There is nothing you can cram on the last day, like the day that you are taking your test. There is nothing that you can shove into your brain that you're gonna remember the day of the test. So do something for you to de-stress. I don't care if that's meditation or yoga for some of you, a shower. What I did personally is I went to IHOP by myself. I got my favorite meal. I'm a gamer, so I had my gaming shows on, so that way I could just kind of relax a little bit. Before I went into the test, I knew that I was a better afternoon test taker, so I scheduled my tests late. That way I could mentally prepare in the morning and then go take my test in the afternoon. And then after the test, you know, they say, you know, congrats, you passed, and I actually went out and did a little retail therapy. I hope that these tips can help you at least a little bit. You can at least take one of these things and implement it into your studying strategy. If you need any additional help, feel free to, you know, reach out to your coaches, come back into the office if you have to, or schedule a phone call. Maybe we can make a study plan together. And otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Please go vote on the Ohio-Kentucky poll so that way you can kind of meet up together. And I'd love to see more of you into the office. Have a great rest of your day.